Okay, hey guys, welcome everybody. If everyone can give me an okay with the audio to make sure this time is okay. Yeah. Can everyone hear me? If you can, please say yes in the chat real quick. Okay. Hey Jim. Okay, good. Fantastic. This time is a lot better. All right. Well, today, guys, today I had to rearrange the kitchen a little bit because, I'm still trying to figure out the best camera positions and everything else. So, first of all, welcome everybody to our latest live stream. We're doing this on Twitch and YouTube, if anybody's wondering. Let's see what else. Today we're going to be making a very tasty dish. What we're going to be making is some pansered sea bass with a fire roasted red bell pepper sauce, and then we're also going to make some pomme puree or mashed potatoes with this. And it's a nice dinner. It's a nice quick dinner to make. And the good thing is when you make like the salsa, you'll be able to make the sauce and you can freeze it if you want later. So it's a much easier thing to make as well. Hello, everybody. Hi, Luna. Changing to this account. Hi, Mom. How are you doing? What time is it there right now? All right, so everybody's ready to start? It shouldn't take as long as last time, yeah? Last time with the empanada, it took a long time, but today we just have to make a few little things. We'll plate, and that's it. All right, Mom, can you get on Twitch? Yeah, Jim's right. Can you please get, if anybody has a Twitch account, could you please get on Twitch? And whoops, autofocus, come on. Come on, there we go. Can you please get on Twitch instead of YouTube, or both if you can, if you have both devices, because I need the average view count to go up as well as the follower count to go up. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to my Twitch account, and if you haven't, to my YouTube as well as my YouTube. And then just so everybody knows, I'm gonna put Jim's channel in here as well. Jim, who has been helping me a lot with all this live video, all this live cooking, everything. He is also on Twitch. He's also on YouTube, but he's focusing now on Twitch, and he just started his live cooking channel on Twitch, which I'm going to put in the comments right now. Let's see. Whoops. And if you can go follow him, that would be a great help as well, because him and I are both starting out. Kitchen. See, did I spell it right? I think so. There we go. Hello, Emma. How are you doing? All right, so I am, but can't see the new video. Mom, refresh the browser. Try that. And make sure it's on the right account on mine. Yes, and not the other one for gaming. So, all right. Okay, guys, so we're going to start, yeah? So if I don't say hi, forgive me. Hello, how are you doing? All right, let's see. Is this a good shot? That's a good shot. No, maybe that one. Yeah, let's try that one. Okay, so first, we are going to reorganize this a little bit because Jim actually has a better setup than I do in his kitchen. But first, we're going to work on the mashed potatoes just because they take the longest, right? So what we want to do is we want to first peel the potatoes, and I like to peel them in the sink because it's cleaner. Take your little peeler and just work top to bottom down. Now, like I said, this dish is super easy to make. And if anybody's wondering, here they do make mashed potatoes a little differently. But we're not going to make those today because I actually don't like them. But what they do, instead of using cream and butter, they actually add olive oil to the mashed potatoes, which is a common thing here. It's also common the French way, the traditional way, but the olive oil way is another common way of making mashed potatoes. And again, that's not what I like. I prefer the French way, just because, one, I prefer cream and butter, and I'm more used to it anyway. Almost finished. So today's been a relatively nice day here in Barcelona. It's been sunny, a little windy, and feels like summer right now. It's not that hot. I'm surprised. The past week's been horribly hot. as Jim should know, being in the Tarragona region, south of Barcelona. And like I said, guys, if you're interested in more cooking, Jim is going to be live, I believe, at 1 p.m. tomorrow. He's going to be making some lemon curd. If anybody wants to watch, tune in. And don't forget to sub to his channel as well, because he has and also Jim can put that in the comments right now. I put the command in for our Discord channel, because Jim started a new Discord channel for him and I. And we just started it yesterday, and like right now, I think we already are up to 12 or 13 people. So if you can put that in the comments, Jim, so people can find that. Let's see, there it is. Okay, good night, bot. Actually, a couple of hours, but only just started getting ready to exit. How's everyone doing today? Good? Let's see, well, there's lots of comments already. Just recovering. Hi, Jim. How did it go? How are you feeling today? Because yesterday I know that you said you were feeling a little tired. Super fun. Besides being super hot. Aye, it is hot. But like I said, today it's not that hot in Barcelona. So I don't know how it is down there in Tarragona, Jim. But today it's actually pretty nice here. Okay, so for the mashed potatoes. Right, this is how I like to make them. I have plenty of videos on my YouTube channel. If you want to watch one of the videos, please do. I should have a link to one of them in my channel. We're going to make them more or less the French way, or the way of pas bocuse that I learned in Lyon. So you're going to cut the potatoes all the same size, yeah, more or less. The smaller you cut them, the faster they cook. The important thing is that they are more or less all the same size. So you're going to cut them into more or less 2 centimeter size cubes. Yes, all of them. And then once you do that, we're going to fill them up with some cold water. And the trick to cooking these is to make them, or to cook them until they are perfectly, whoops, catch that one, perfectly cooked. We don't want them overdone, and you don't want them underdone. No, potatoes, al dente potatoes are not good. They do not make a good mashed potatoes. And then if you make more than, I would say, a kilo, or about more than 2 pounds, I would suggest using a food mill to pass, because otherwise it's going to be too lumpy. So fill it up with cold water. A little higher than the potatoes. We're going to put them on here. Whoops, wrong one. Come on. There we go. And then you can put a little bit of salt in here. It's important to salt the water. It's best to use salt Maldon. If you don't have it, you can use normal table salt. But don't put too much salt in the water, because otherwise at the end you can't adjust it. I've done this once. It's not fun. Highlight streams. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, everybody's talking today. Jim watched your video. Hi, Jim. Yes, you did. You did. Your Jim's first video. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. He did a very good job. He made huevos a la flamenco, or flamenca. No? So let's see. What's nice today? I heard people are having side effects. A lot of people are having side effects from the vaccine. I'm walking crisp, so I highlight all the streams to save them. People can watch later. It's impossible to cover all the time zones. Aye, that's true. Hello, everyone. Hello, James. Hey, Obese Warrior. How are you doing? We're going to be making some fish today with a salsa and some mashed potatoes. So the potatoes are already on. Better to make my own scrambled eggs when it offers only trust me. That's what he said. Hey. All right, so now for this next Sunday, just so everybody knows now, I'll mention it later as well. We are going to be making, I'm going to be making some arroz negro, or some paella with squid ink, yeah? I haven't made this for a long time. At least I haven't made this on the YouTube channel for like a year, but I have another video as well. So if you want to go check that out, I'll leave the links down below. I'm trying to get some squid ink right now. I was at the grocery store yesterday. I was actually at Macadona. I'm doing good, man. How are you doing? And I was at the school. No, I was at the school. I was at the store at Macadona, which is our grocery store. And I was walking around everywhere asking everybody where the squid ink is. And sure enough, they have it online, but then at the store, and it's a massive one here, I couldn't find it. So either later today or tomorrow, I'm going to have to go hunt for it. Otherwise, we're going to be making a normal paella. But my plan is to make the squid ink version of paella, which is a very, very tasty version of it. And I will leave a little list. Well, later on, we can do this on the Discord channel as well. If you guys want to make it with me on Sunday, then be sure to get all the ingredients. I can leave a list on our Discord group. If you go and buy those ingredients, and then we can make this together on Sunday, then that would be the easiest thing. But you do need a paella pan if you have one, or at least a large skillet. And you need a few other pots and pans, and of course all the ingredients. Let's see. And here at the end of June, go squeeze some squid. Squeeze. I have to go get some squid. I didn't buy any calamari yet. All right, so let's just go milk some squid. It's not easy to get the ink out of the squid or out of the cuttlefish. Not at all. Huh? I haven't even done it. It's much easier just to buy it and get the calamari. There are a lot of dishes here though where, oh, what are they called? I forget what it is in Spanish, but it's squid or calamari in its own ink. And this is another easy dish. It's more like tapas. It's a very simple dish to make. And this summer, I will probably start making a lot of fish and seafood and other things, because I haven't really, on my YouTube channel, there's been too many other things, and it may be a better idea this summer to focus on the Spanish things since I'm in Spain and it's much easier for me to get the Spanish ingredients, right? All right, so guys, the second step to this is we're going to, let's see, what are we going to do? We're going to roast some peppers, yes? Now, you don't have to do this. Excuse me if you heard that scraping a bit. We don't have to do this. You don't have to do this like this. You can do it another way. You can do it in the oven. But we're going to take some peppers just like this. And this is what we used to do in Arizona a lot. Okay, and you're going to put them on. Now, you want to keep an eye on that. I have another bowl here, as a matter of fact. Put that bowl over here. We're going to drop them in the bowl once they're done, and I can get a few more going. Let's have more burners. And all you want to do is to basically blacken them. This is very dirty. I'm going to have a massive mess to clean up on the stove, yes? And I may have to open the window because it'll smell like peppers. But this is the way that we used to do them in Arizona all the time. And while that's going, I'm going to cut some onions, because this is the rest of the components that'll go with the sauce, or that'll go with the pepper sauce. I'll be using some of these are not my tongs, but anyway, I'll buy some soon. So, catch fire. Yeah, the peppers will catch fire. That's the idea of it. You want to burn them. You want to burn them until they are charred. And then once they're black, you're going to take them off. You're going to put them into the little pot like we did last time, and we're going to steam them. After they cool down, the skin it should be flaky. It'll be easier to then peel the skin off, because we don't want the skin and we don't want the seeds. This is very important. I used to make most of my peppers like this when I was living in Arizona growing up. We used to do this all the time. If you have a barbecue, it's the best, because, it doesn't matter how, if you get it dirty, does it? You can just clean it later outside. Hello, Mr. McFluffy, how are you? So, anyway, this type of cooking, here they don't really do a lot of the peppers. And I can smell the peppers right now. But as you see, it's starting to blacken. Yeah? We want all of this charred, everything. So you're gonna keep moving this around. And then for this, we're just going to peel the onions, and we're going to saute the onions with a little bit of garlic. And then once the peppers are finished, we're going to clean them like we did making the escalivada. And then we're going to add all of this in. We're going to blend everything together. And that's just about it for the sauce. And ideally, if you want to really make this a nice roasted pepper salsa, you can also do this with the onions. Char them with the skin on. Okay. And then you just peel them, peel the outer skin off, and that's it. It's easy. If I can get my hands on some chili peppers, I would love to, because I used to make a lot of salsas back home. I haven't been here because I can't get my hands on a lot of other types of chilies like poblanos and Anaheims and others, and I have to turn the fan on. It's just smoking me out. How's everyone doing today? My eye, I'm not crying. Practice. Well, these onions are not that strong. Yeah, they're not that bad. Some of the other onions, if you can see that. When you get an onion, or even some shallots for that matter, that they'll hurt you. Yeah, and yeah, just have to push through it. You can't do anything else. Nothing else. Alright, now. Well, put it there. You can still see? Kind of. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to saute the onions. Let that come up to temp. How's everyone doing today, though? Everyone's okay? Everyone's healthy? Happy? That's just swimming goggles. Yeah, actually, I have seen a few guys at work when I was in the US do this. But that's when they have to peel or cut like literally 50 pounds of potatoes, or several sacks of 50 pounds of potatoes. So if you have like a couple 100 pounds or 100 kilos or more, yeah, I would. But I'll have to admit that whenever you are like sick, whenever you have a cold or anything, it doesn't bother you, right? Because your sinuses are blocked up. So it's great when you're on onion duty and you have to peel. It's the easiest thing. I love your stove. Oh, thank you, Mom. I do too, yeah? And that's why I try to keep it clean, because the important thing is a new stove, if you keep it clean in the beginning and continuously clean it, then it's not hard to clean 5 years from now, which is what happens to most of them. Amazing Simon, which will stop you crying. Jim, what's your amazing thing about onions? Tell me, please. No, seriously, guys, if you haven't checked out Jim's videos, or his video that he made, just the first one, go check it out on his channel. Oh, today is going to be a hot day in the kitchen with all these chilies and peppers and everything. All right, well, the potatoes will come up to a boil a little later. All right, we have this. This is in the pan. Put this in here. Now, just so I know, what is everybody's fish that they like the most? Or what's your favorite fish? Because I like salmon. I love salmon. But salmon doesn't go with everything because it has a very strong flavor. And I would really like to get some halibut. I miss having halibut. I used to have halibut cheeks all the time. That's actually, it's not a good piece of garlic, is it? All right, so the onions are sauteing. I'm just going to cut some garlic up and add this to the onions as well. If you caramelize, you can caramelize them if you want. That's totally optional. The longer you cook them, the sweeter they'll become. Oof, smoky. And you will have to watch my streams and I'll explain. Ah, yeah, Jim. Yes, the incentive. Sea bass. Oh, Emma, sea bass is your favorite. Well, good, because that's exactly what we're making today. Although they're a little small, these sea bass. They're like baby sea bass. Salmon, but it's the only food I eat besides shrimp. Well, I can't eat shrimp. I wish I could. I have to cook it, but I can't eat it. And then here, so I'll tell you a funny story. Oh, hi, Dad. What's the name of sea bass? Lubina. Sea bass is lubina in Spanish. And this came from Galicia. So the last video when we made the Galician empanadas, this is actually the area where this fish came from recently. See, now that's what you want. You see all this? That's good. That's what you want. But the lubina came from this region in Galicia, which is the top northwest corner of Spain. And they have a lot of sea bass there. A lot. Well, they have a lot of seafood in general there. So here, I'll tell you, like I said, I lost track. So I'll tell you a funny story. So the first time, I like onion rings, right? And it was my first week at Hotel Arts. And I was working like 80 hours a week in banqueting because we had a massive banquet at Camp Nou, which is the football stadium. And anyway, this day, instead of going to the, what do we call it? Instead of going to the, not the mess hall, but the, now I'm forgetting all of my words. It's just bad, huh? This happens a lot when you start thinking in one language or the other. We went to the cafeteria, and normally we would go to the cafeteria. This day we were too busy, so instead everyone made food for us in banqueting. One of the guys who made everything. And I thought, oh, we have some onion rings, right? So I took an onion ring, bit down on it. It wasn't an onion ring. And Jim will know this story as well, because it happened to him, I think, as well. It's calamari. So here, if you see what you think are onion rings, ask them before. Cabrilla sea bass from Mexico. Yeah, Dad, you can get that, but it's a little different here because they fish out of the Atlantic, not out of the Gulf. And the other fish that's very popular here, besides sea bass, is merluza. Or merluza, which is hake. And then you also have pez espada, which is pez España, which is, what is it, swordfish. And then you have a few others here that are very popular. Pulpo, which is also very popular. Octopus is extremely popular. Right, Jim as well, like he said. Bacalao, which is cod, is extremely popular. But looking at the prices yesterday, some of the prices have gone up a little bit. And, well, it's a little different for us in the restaurants because in the grocery stores, obviously, they have a higher markup price. But the cod here, yesterday at the store, pre-cut already, was about 11 euros per kilo. It's not that bad for cod. The lubina, or the sea bass, was more than 18 per kilo, which is very expensive. And then salmon, I think, was at 20 something per kilo as well. And if any of you or anybody has plans on coming to Barcelona, then let me know, because, or Jim know as well, because we have plenty of places that we can recommend. If you want some good places to eat or anything else, we can easily recommend some of those places. Thinking it was cheese, and she thought it tasted better than cheese until she pointed it out. Yeah, bit into a stick of butter. She bit into a stick of butter at the restaurant. Oh, interesting. Yes, we'll all go to James' house. Well, my house isn't that big, so. We have a massive park in front of my house, though. That's good. Hey, Mrs. McFluffy, how are you? And dog walk. Oh, that's okay, not a problem. As long as you're on, it makes me happy. Let's see. Yep, I ate several thinking they were onion. Yeah, I know, Jim. Yeah, that's horrible. It's a horrible trick too. When you honestly, you think of some, oh, you got some onion rings. The next thing you know, it's not onion rings. Right. So, smells like chilies and onions right now. Right. So more or less, just like this. And like I said, this is extremely messy. Now you want to get all the sides if you can. This is going to go a little slow today because I have to cook other things at the same time. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day. Not a while ago. Almost did. Eating an olive thinking it was a grape. Ooh, well, that's not good. Yes. It depends on if the olive had a pit in it or if it was depitted. Because I love olives, but I don't like eating them with pits in them. Went to Mexico, right? Guacamole thinking it was mushy peas. Seriously, Jim? You went their first time eating guacamole. You thought it was mushy peas. I thought they had gone off. Really? No, guacamole is good. I love guacamole. Or I used to love it. Can't eat it anymore. Avocado allergy? That was a long time ago. Well, I never had guac. Well, guac in the US is very common. Very, 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 very typical. Especially in the Southwest. So when literally things like... It's burning a little. Have to switch. Things like this, where you see people roast chilies on open fire, and you'll have guacamole. People make it right in front of you in the restaurants. This sort of thing is very typical in the Southwest. Wow, just change. At least give you another perspective, no? Because this camera's the good one. The other one's not as sharp. Man. Yeah, the only thing is, well, at least for us here, avocados are not as expensive as they are in the US. Mom, what's the price of an avocado right now at the grocery store? If you remember, give me a rough estimate. Because here, they're not as expensive. They grow in Andalusia, which is south of us, at the end of Spain. And I remember the last time I remember seeing avocados in the store in the US, I think that they're $1 each. I thought they were a little more expensive last time, like $1.50 too. Because fruit and veggies are not cheap in the US, especially organic. Yeah, it's been getting a little better. But recently, like I said before, after all this crisis here, the things are getting a little worse. Let's see, which button? One. Things are getting a little more expensive here in the grocery stores. All right, so more or less that in the bowl. And one more. Come here. There we go. Now, while this, if you guys can see this, this is going to go in the little bowl, and we're going to wrap it for right now. And then we'll add the others to the bowl later. Put this over here. They used to be $1 each. Let's see. So, Dad, are you still on? Yeah? Don't be quiet. You can type. You can respond if you want. You're allowed to. Yeah? What are you making today for dinner? Risotto? Tell me. I only have an electric hub, so how would I cook the peppers? Well, that's the problem. If you only have electric, saute the peppers. You're not gonna get the same flavor, it's okay, yeah? But if you don't have gas, don't worry about it. Cut the peppers up like normal, take out the seeds, and saute them. Or you can put a little oil on them, stick them in the oven on broil, and that'll work. Carolina Reaper. You ate Carolina Reaper, the pepper. Seriously. They're hot. Cooking breakfast for your mom and the parrot. Oh, that sounds nice. What's the parrot eating? Steak? Yeah, no, I don't like electric. I've used everything. I've used electric, gas, well, gas a lot, obviously. Induction as well. Induction's good, like I said, for sauces. But electric's very difficult to time with things. Very, very difficult. Okay, the potatoes are not done yet. They're almost done. And the potatoes are going to be done before everything else. All right, well, once this pepper's finished, we're going to reorganize everything. So, for the mashed potatoes, upon puree, I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream. And this heavy cream is extremely heavy cream. So, Jim will know what I mean. You have to thin it out. If it's this heavy, where it's this thick, thin it out. Because it's just too thick. You can't use it for anything else. And we're going to cut some butter. So, you have a little bit of milk. Come here. A little bit of cream. Thin it out to the right consistency. More or less. More or less. And if anybody wants the measurements on how to make the proper amount of mashed potatoes, I have it on that video. So I'll do that in a minute. I'll have that on that video, which I should have that link down below in the description on how to make mashed potatoes. One second, guys. I can't see the chat. See. Scrambled eggs. Are you making scrambled eggs? Oh, that's good. Any sausage? British bangers? Not for peppers. This would be a good meal for me. Oh, it could be. Well, the peppers go with everything. I mean, seriously. Yeah? Chili sauce, pepper sauce. It goes with... I put it on almost everything. I love chili. Like, lucky it was just a crisp potato chip to James. Flavored with chili, it wasn't. Immersion pain. Ah, flavored with chili. Okay. No, because I've tasted a ghost chili before. Many years ago with the executive sous chef. Dad will know this. I was working with my dad in Washington, and our executive sous chef one day, I can't really explain the whole story, but anyway, we had a little ghost chili challenge to see who could eat it. I'll have to tell that story another time. Let's see. Yes, I can put the list of ingredients on Discord. Jim's going to, so if he doesn't, if I don't do it, then, you know, it's not that good. I'll be sure to put the list of ingredients on Discord afterwards. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, wait, I tried but couldn't figure it out. Mom, what did you try? I don't understand what you mean by that. Yeah, Jim, you like that new command, don't you? Discord. It's good. Everyone's Discord is a free thing to join as well. You don't have to pay to join it. So if anybody wants to, please feel free to do so. Okay, well, we will rewrap this in a moment. Right. Okay. Cream on. This on, because this isn't cooking. No? Why are you not? Well, there we go. The only problem with this burner is that it's extremely wide. So what happens with little dishes such as this is that it will heat the outside up too much and it'll burn it. And so I don't really enjoy burning my onions. So we'll tidy up here a little bit. We're going to cut the butter because the potatoes are going to be done pretty quickly. Now, I tend to use a decent amount of butter. You don't have to use a lot. But the important thing is cutting the butter up into cubes before, let's see, I apologize if you guys can't see me real well. I can't get my little webcam higher than this at the moment. So, cut the butter up into cubes. The important thing though is to keep it cold, because if you don't have cold butter when you make mashed potatoes, then you will not make them creamy. And typically, well, this is how it was when I was in France. My chef, he used to put a little more butter than cream, because the more butter you have in it, the creamier it is. So the more fats in the mashed potatoes. I trying a medium spice stuff, but spice doesn't hurt. Got to build that wonderful community. Aye, we do. So, Jim, well, our goal is to build the community together on Discord, and then of course help each other as well on Twitch, because both of us are doing this together, really. And then once both of us get affiliated, he and I are going to start cooking together. We haven't worked out the plans yet. It'll probably be once we reach so many subs or subscribers and things such as this. But it'll be fun. Jim and I are looking forward to doing this together. And it's fun to do it with somebody else instead of just doing this by yourself. Because I've done my YouTube by myself, and it takes a lot of time and effort. And like I said, it's more fun when you do it with somebody else. So the butter's going to go back in the fridge because it's a little too warm here today. This we clean. Now, let's see, what was I going to say? No, I forgot. That's what happens when you start getting older, doesn't it? You start to forget. So now, Sunday, this is another thing I was wanting to mention. Sunday, I believe we're going to be going a little earlier than 5 p.m. We're not going to be doing it at 5. I think I'm going to start the stream at 2 p.m. Spanish time in Madrid. And this will allow all of us here, because this is going to be a little bit of a longer process making the paella. And I'm also going to be making other things for the paella. So this is a little bit of a process. Shouldn't be 3 hours though, but 2 hours easily. My mash is always lumpy, so I'm a sin against chefs and buy the frozen stuff. Oh, all right. No, don't buy the frozen. It's so easy to make the mashed potatoes. It's so easy. You don't need to buy the frozen stuff. It's not good for you. They put all the preservatives in it. Right, so the potatoes are just done. But like just. So, when you're mixing mashed potatoes, hot cream. Never cold. Hot potatoes, hot cream, cold butter. Then it becomes nice and creamy. And like I said, if you're making a little batch like this, if I can find it, where did it go? Here it is. You can use a whisk for just a little batch. And we're going to be reusing the same pot because we want to retain the heat. We want to keep it. And if anybody wants to tip as well, Jim or myself, you don't have to. Everything's for free here, but we would be grateful because both of us are doing this now full time, and this is basically our work. And with the amount of hours that I put in last year in YouTube, I never imagined that it could be literally a full-time job, but trust me, it is. If anybody's done video editing and all this work before, it is a massive job. Why am I burning the peppers? For fun, because I like to burn them. That's the only reason. No, the reason why is because we want to take the skin off. And either you can do this in the oven, you can do this on the fire, as you see I'm doing. We're also cooking them. Yes, so the juices inside are starting to cook the pepper as well. This is a very traditional, no, a very traditional way of cooking chilies in the Southwest. When you're in Arizona, you'll see a lot of people do this, a lot. And well, you'll see them just roasting bunches and bunches of chilies. But if you burn them, we can sweat the peppers then, because you want to sweat the skin. And then you can peel the skin off and you can take the seeds out. It's a much easier process than, well, or you can use the oven, but it's one or the other. So no, that's true, Jim, too. All right, so mashed potatoes. No, actually, mashed potatoes, Jim, in the U.S. they're not always that creamy. They are like mashed. But the thing is, in Spain, mashed potatoes is called a puree. Yeah, is puré de patatas, which means puree of potatoes. In France, is pomme mousseline, or no, no, I'm forgetting my French. It's pomme puree, and pomme puree, pomme de terre, apple. Yeah, apple is pomme de terre is potato, apple of the earth. But pomme puree is obviously a pureed mixture of mashed potatoes. So it's creamy. And if you go to France, trust me, if you make any lumping potatoes, especially at the place that I've been in France, this is a big no-no. Yeah? It has to be creamy. It's like silk, literally. I mean, you'll be able to pipe this onto a plate. We're not doing that, by the way, today, but you'll be able to pipe it. The grinder is in English it's a food mill. No, I can't remember what they call it in French. It's I can't remember. It's a pass. Well, they call it in the restaurants here they call it like a pasta puree, or you know, it's a potato. It's the food mill. You pass the potatoes through it. Which, if you can get one, is a good thing to have, especially if you turn the cream off. Especially if you are going to be making a lot of things that, well, I make. So that's on my wish list for things to get. Actually, these I can take off because they're done. They're sauteed. We're just going to cook everything together. Hi. So basically, as you can tell, this dish, the biggest components is making the sauce. That's it. Wait a minute, Jim, you're writing a lot now. To make them silky smooth. That's when I get the super smooth. All right. Well, Jim, you can still get super smooth potatoes if you're making like 500 grams. But when you make anything else, anything more than that, it takes a lot of work. So the best thing is to have the food mill. Or the wire mesh, yeah. So you have to put it through a mesh. And then you can use a little like pastry spatula, the plastic ones, to force this through. It's one or the other. Trust me, the food mill's a lot easier because otherwise you're going to be there with your little pastry spatula going through the the sieve. No, it takes a lot of time. The chinois. See? Elbow grease makes good mash. I can. I'll tell you though, it does. It takes a lot of effort. When you have to make like 30 kilos or 50 kilos of potatoes, and you're there with the spatulas and having to mix, because I've done this for banqueting, hundreds and hundreds of kilos of mash. It takes a lot of elbow grease. All right, so now the potatoes are just done, are perfect. We're gonna take this off, we're gonna leave it. You can let it sit just for a minute because it'll be perfect by the time that we finish this. And basically after I finish this pepper, which is taking forever, then we can start. The cream's hot, so I can take the cream, put that over to the side, leave that hot, and then we're going to drain after the pepper finishes. It's taking its time. Let's see. What's that? Hubby does hours of spatula within it for ages. So, I know. Like I said, the more you burn it, the easier it is to take everything off. See, it's safe to roast them on the fire. You want to roast them on the fire. It's easy. And as you can tell, there's no problem. So some people, and especially when you're using an open flame, you have to be extra careful because, well, if you have like a chef's cloth, like this, and it's a little like this, and you go to pick something up, and this is too close to the fire, well, of course, this is going to catch on light, you know? It's quite simple, so this does happen. You have to be careful. I've only seen this happen in the kitchen professionally like 2 or 3 times out of about 13 years of working, 14, so it doesn't happen that much. Aye, and you can do aubergine like this too. See, the aubergine as well. They work great. Yeah, this is why I wish I had a grill. That way I could grill some more, I can start grilling my vegetables. Make scrambled eggs in the microwave. No. That's, if you can make scrambled eggs in the microwave, that's great, but no. For me, no. I'm not gonna eat them, sorry. No, that's exactly right. Jim's right. No. Now, if you asked Ramsay that, he would probably have a much different reaction, but yeah. It's so easy to make scrambled eggs in a pan. It literally takes less than, what, 10 seconds for, if you have a hot pan, when you crack the egg and you scramble them. It takes no time at all, literally. Because anything that, and this is true, anytime that you use anything for the microwave, the radio waves will start to heat the little water molecules up, yeah? They start vibrating. This is why when you put protein in the microwave, it comes out like rubber afterwards, and it is like rubber. You microwave chicken or whatever, and after about 5 to 10 minutes, you're cutting through it, and sure enough, it's like putting a rubber ball in your mouth. Nice. I like slow scramble, but yeah, I don't know why anyone other than the fan. Bernie makes them that way, and it confuses me so because it must be so different. She needs a slap. No, but it's fun to roast vegetables on an open fire. It's different too. Right, so more or less, this is almost perfect. Yeah, that's done. All right, now for the mashed potatoes, I'm going to strain them. The proper way to do this is to take them out little by little, yeah? Little by little. If you're not doing that many, or if you're not cooking that many, then you don't have to. So, the most important thing right now, yeah? Because when you see the knife, it goes straight through the potatoes. No resistance at all. These are perfectly cooked potatoes. Perfect. You let them sit. Right now, the most important thing is to allow the extra water vapor, or the water that's on the potatoes, to evaporate, because now they're still extremely hot. And after this, we're going to mix. So, see, I know, barbecue season, Jim. I really miss a barbecue. Like, really miss having a backyard and having space for a barbecue. The neighbors where I am, for some reason, they have barbecues. And I don't know if I can have one in this building. I don't know. I don't think so. But the others have it, and I really miss it. If I'm at work, so they don't have to have them for us at home. Well, if you can pre-cook them, this is another thing, Mrs. McFluffy. You can pre-cook it and put it in a tupper. That's another option. Have a little bit of scrambled eggs, maybe a little bit of a sandwich, something. It's easy. Red peppers or any other type? No, any types of peppers. You can use this with Anaheims, Poblanos, any of them. Well, you don't want to use this with habaneros, yes? I'm talking about the types of peppers that you can eat without hurting yourself. Because when you use this with habaneros or any super, super spicy chilies, then this is a big no-no. Hello, how are you doing? Yes. Look. Oh yeah, I remember that, Mom. Yeah, I remember, yeah? When was this? This was a few years ago, wasn't it? That was a mess to clean up. This is another thing. You can... Well, I don't think I can say this word on YouTube because the algorithm catches everything. But yeah, you can have a bad experience in the oven. Or in the microwave with eggs. Friday Harbor. Yeah, that was I remember that. Barbecue season. Aye, here's barbecue season. Meaning when the weather's nice, everyone starts barbecuing. Like recently on the 4th of July, on the 4th, everybody barbecues. Chipotle? Well, chipotle are smoked. They're smoked jalapenos. But they have a very nice flavor to them. You know the week in summer, you know the 1 week in summer in the UK? Yeah, in the south of England, I remember only getting maybe 1, maybe 2 weeks, if I'm lucky, of sun in the south. In London, at least. Because even in June, it was raining all the time. And in August, you still had to keep your jacket on. Okay, so... Pepper's done. We're going to get going here. Everything's going to come together more or less at the same time. Now, we're going to sweat the pepper, the last one, again. This one goes into the pot. Whoops. See all that steam coming out? We want to trap the steam. Okay. Put this down here. I have a lot to clean up. It does make your kitchen a little messy. Just warning everyone. All right, so that's gonna go there. Now, we're gonna start mixing the mashed potatoes. So anyone has any questions just before I do this? Because I have to keep an eye on the potatoes. My cook game now, summer? Aye, summer. Oh, it's summer here. We have summer barbecues. Okay, so it's mixy time. So potatoes are dry. Any excess water, get rid of. Any. As a matter of fact, literally, completely get rid of it. We'll leave that sits. Yeah. You want no moisture in this. Right, the pan's still hot. The potatoes are going to go in. We're going to add our butter, and we're going to add our warm cream. I'm not going to add all right now. I'm just going to add a little bit. And if the cream, this has a little bit of a skin, it's not a problem. I'm just making this for the family today, so it's not like this is going into a restaurant or anything. Before I add any salt, that'll be a little later. I'm gonna add butter. Yeah, cubes. It's the best way. Don't worry about the butter. Add. It just makes it creamier. Now, I'm going to try to do this for you guys to see, although you can't. So more or less, everything mixed in as such. Okay? And then from here, you can turn that off. From here, you're just going to mash. And we want to technically work back on a very low fire. This is Paul Bocuse's way of making mashed potatoes. You boil it and you remake the mashed potatoes in the same pan that you used because the pan's hot, it keeps the residual heat, and you put it back onto the fire because it keeps everything hot. Now, this will be a little lumpy because I don't have a food mill. I'm gonna add just a little more cream. If it's too thick, add a little more cream. If it's not creamy enough, add more butter. And you can tell this is starting to become creamy. Now, this, more or less, is good. Yes? Again, you can add more butter or a little more cream. I'm going to taste this. Turn that off. Needs salt. Needs a lot of salt. Add a little more. No. Butter. Add a little more butter to it. If you add little pieces of butter, they melt a lot easier than adding one big block of butter. Right, so more or less, this is the consistency, if you can see, that you want, yes, more or less. Again, it can be even better when you have the food puree. Maybe a little more salt. For me, a little more. No, it's good. Okay, so more or less as such. Now, we're gonna let this sit. Now I have to clean everything. I'm gonna let that sit, and I'm gonna cover it because otherwise it's, oh, my throat. Otherwise, it will develop a skin. And a trick to keeping this hot is, one, you can take another pan, a bigger one, more like, we call them hotel pans, more like this one, and pour a little water in it and set that hotel pan on the heat. Yeah? And what that'll do is you'll create a water bath or a bain-marie, and that water bath will keep this from getting cold, and it will also prevent it from burning. Just a little bit of plastic. There we go. Okay, more or less. There we go. Just gonna keep that here because it's still warm. And now I'm gonna tidy up just a little bit. Potato ricer is the name of the food mill I was thinking of. Oh, the ricer. Ah, yeah, that's right. I'm not allowed salt. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I got unsalted butter for this, but no, salt. I love salt. It helps with everything. No, white pepper, Jim. You can, technically speaking though, I never use pepper to season the mashed potatoes. Never. Not in Lyon, even not in England, not at all. Let's see, I'm gonna put some, I have some chicken stock here. Which I'm just gonna heat up as I wash up. The other tip that I have is you want to clean anything with the mashed potatoes while it's hot. Because if you don't, it's a lot harder. But no, Jim, normally, and my dad likes to put pepper in mashed potatoes. But now, to be honest, in any of the restaurants, any of the high-end places, Again, it depends on what you're making the dishes and everything for, but typically just for a simple mix, no pepper. And if you do use pepper, you use white pepper because it's a white puree. You use dark pepper only for dark purees, dark sauces. The only problem is I don't really like the taste of white pepper, and my dad doesn't either. So he uses dark pepper, black pepper for everything. Right, okay. Everything's nice and tidy. It's like a demon. Is everyone still doing okay? Everyone's all right? I apologize if I can't keep an eye on the chat because I'm paying it a little bit of attention. This is a habit of being a chef, yeah? I pay almost 100% attention to the food, and it's hard for me. I have to try to train myself to pay more attention to all the chat and everyone else, because this is how it is in the kitchen. You're constantly working. So, butter in the fridge. That for later. Little bit of cream. Actually, I need this pot as well. So what I'm going to do with this as well now, I'm going to blanch some haricot vert or some green beans that I have from the last paella actually I did. Come on. Okay. Right. That's going to come up to a boil. This is done. All right. We're going to make the puree right after the peppers start to sweat a little more. And we have some chicken stock coming up to temp because I'm going to use a little bit of that to make the puree as well. Oh, the mash looks gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Let's see, where am I from? Oh, I'm from the US, but my dad's English. So my mom's American, my dad's English. So technically, oh, I'm half English, yeah? But no, I grew up all over the US. So I grew up in Arizona. I've lived in Arizona, in New Mexico, in California, in Hawaii, in Washington State as well, and moved multiple times in each of these places. Then I lived in London as well. I worked there. I have lived in Barcelona. Then I moved to Lyon, France for a year, and then I moved back to Barcelona. So I've been moving a lot, and I've also moved multiple times in Barcelona. So I've done a lot of moving. Oh, and I've also lived in Virginia when I was little. We used to live in Virginia as well. Now I know, Jim, but the problem is, well, this is another habit. I cannot stand having a dirty sink, and everyone that knows me can attest to this, no? I cannot stand having a dirty sink. It has to be clean. But the other problem is that the sink is extremely small. So if I don't clean it, then I can't put anything else in it, and it's best to clean everything. Well, I'm quick anyway. It's best to clean everything. Well, it's best to clean as you go. This is what I teach everyone. This is what I was taught when I was little. So, yeah, all over the US, Jim. UK. Why do I automatically think, oh, I don't know. My dad's English, though. I have dual nationality. I've lived in the UK. I have family still in the UK. Yeah, that's true. You can take an egg and fry it on the sidewalk in Arizona. You can, yeah. And it gets so hot that the tarmac actually, that the road will start to get sticky. So when you're going out for a daily walk or whatever during midday, the hottest part of the day, right, in Arizona, and you walk and your shoes are sticking to the road. I don't like it. It's too hot. Habit of many years of habit. Is that how you cook while you're there? Is that how I cook while I'm there? I don't understand by that. if you weren't wearing shoes. I know. Yeah, that's true. No, in Arizona, I didn't cook while I was in Arizona. I grew up there before I was 12. So when I was 12, then we moved to Washington State. And when I was 5, I think we were living in Virginia, moved from New Mexico. I've been all over the place. Okay, now for the chilies. Yes, because if not, we're not going to be done today. And this is why I need the sink, because it has to be clean for the chilies. Right, so now, if everyone can see me, get this pot, put this here, and that way nobody will see this. Come on. I know. Come here. There we go. All right, so the water's going to come up to a boil, and now you can see what I'm doing. Right, so with the trash, oh, that's another thing I didn't get at the store. Gloves. Anyway, this is a bit of a dirty process again, but it comes off extremely easy, as you can tell. Yes, extremely easy. You want to get gloves for this because your hands get dirty, as you can tell. And if you didn't get everything, that's okay. But most of the skin comes off. This is a lot easier. You can make a scaливada, the other salad that I made the other video the other day. You can make this. You can cook all the vegetables like this on the fire. This is the easiest way to make it. I use the oven just because it's pretty much the most common way, or the most common thing that people are going to do here. Now, if it has any excess black bits, take them off. They're not good for you. And all this causes, well, things that you don't want in life. So I take them off. If you have a few pieces, that's fine. And in New Mexico and Southwest, you don't wash the chilies, but I've been in Europe too many years. Now I'm washing them. Now, more or less, the pepper should look like this. And I'll change the camera settings. There we go. That's a little better. No? Right. So literally, this is one of those easy salsas or sauces that you can make at home, be it that you have the gas. Like I said, you can also use the oven. And there are many things that you can make with all these vegetables. And yes, this is still a little hot. When you start cooking a lot, you start to develop calluses on your hands. But you can still hurt yourself, obviously. Right, so we're going to clean the rest of the other pepper fully. We're going to de-seed it. And I'm going to bring everything back up to temp for the sauce. Now, once we have everything hot, then I'm going to start cooking the fish. So, not that much longer. And then we'll be able to plate. So, we're almost done. And if anybody is wondering, normally I would be doing all of these things at once. I wouldn't be doing anything one by one. Because you always try to multitask. Always multitasking. This one's a little hot. The last one. Okay. Now, this summer, if I can get my hands on some other chilies, I'm going to start doing some other like poblanos and everything. We can start doing some other things that I used to do in Arizona. Some more southwestern type food, which I like a lot. I miss it. And I think what I'll have to do is I'll have to buy some seeds and grow the peppers, because otherwise I won't be able to get them. All right, so just about it. Yep. Okay. Right. Messy little bowl. Right. That's it. Wash this bowl out so I have something to put. Put that here. Put that one here. All right. If anybody's writing and I miss your text, my hands are still wet. Yeah. So I'm not touching the computer right now. Poblano chili stretch goal. Aye, maybe Jim. No? Special order stuff. Yeah, we do. We have to special order all this stuff. If I want, we're even trying to get, not poblanos, but even trying to get like chipotle. It's a special order. I mean, I can find it in specialty places here, but still, it's not like you can just go to the grocery store and get it. Or it depends on the place. Okay, now, again, in Arizona and in the Southwest, you never wash your peppers. Never. They keep all the flavor of everything on. However, after working in so many places here in Europe, I don't do that anymore. Right, now, I'm going to take some frozen haricot vert, and I'm just going to drop them in. Come here. Just to cook them a little bit, just to use them for garnish later, and I'll show you what I have in mind. A little bit of salt, yes? Voila. Okay. Now, second one. And if anybody's wondering, before you cook it is probably the best, yeah? You can take the little peppers, the seeds, and grow them. I used to grow a bunch of peppers when I was little, like a lot. My mom and dad can verify that. I mean, I used to have, in the house, I used to have maybe 20 or 30 different peppers growing when I was little, and I used to have all types. I used to have Scotch bonnets, I used to have yellow habaneros, brown habaneros, all the types of habaneros, jalapenos, everything. Thai chilies as well. So I think I'm going to have to start that again here, just because some things have been a little challenging, as Jim knows as well, to find. And when you come to Barcelona, I don't know if Jim, if you've been to this place, but there's a shop. It's called the American Store, and they have everything in there. Absolutely everything that's Americana. So you'll find Campbell's soup, for instance, which to me, Campbell's soup is nothing special. It's okay, but they're selling Campbell's soup, and you'll see Quaker oats and everything else in there. So it's pretty interesting when you see something like this, and to you, it's like normal. And to everyone else here, it's like, wow, it's so cool, it's so different. Right, okay. Apologize, guys, for all this mess and taking so long, but it's a little messy. How many does James need to get to 50? Okay, so if anyone's wondering, if you can see it, that little bar, if you can see it here, no, more or less, well, okay, now, if you see this bar is my goal to get to 50. So I'm at 46 right now. So I got a few during the stream. So guys, thank you very much. I didn't hear it. I apologize, but thank you for signing up. And I need 4 more, and that's it. I already have the hours. I need 1 more stream. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Heartstrike. Thank you very, very much. And Food Vibration, hey. ¿Qué tal? Bien, muy bien. ¿Cómo estás tú? How's everybody doing? We're almost finished. We just have a few more things to do. I'll explain it in a second. I'm just trying to catch up on all the chat that I missed. All right, now we'll be catching you next time. Mr. McFluffy, that's fine. Not to worry. Just need 4 more streams. Oof, boy, lots of chat, huh? 3 toaster. Hello, I always set it between 2 and 3 on the toaster. Kiwi? Okay. I was just trying to catch up on chat. Did you get to 50? Not yet. I'm still 4 shy from reaching 50. Almost. It's okay. We're doing pretty good though, I have to admit. Yes, it's actually been a little faster than YouTube. Because YouTube has been, oof, it just felt like it's taking forever. Okay, well, the haricot are cooking away. I don't really mind them. They'll cook for a little bit. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to put this back on the stove. Put this back here, you can see. I'm going to cut these up, add this to this, just to bring this back up to temp because everything's cold. Right, so, a bit of an uncooked piece. All right, so if anyone's wondering, everyone's that's come in right now, what we're making today is we're making some pan-seared sea bass or lubina with a bit of fire roasted chili peppers, which the red bell peppers that we just roasted right now on the open fire, the open flame. And I also made a little bit of mashed potatoes or puree de I can't speak right now. Puree de I honestly can't speak right now. Puree de batatas or puree de batatas. So we're going to bring everything back up to temp really quick, and then we're going to blend it and then cook the fish. And if you want to, you can use your blender for this. That would help. Or not. I'm just going to use my little hand blender, which I need to think about this. It's a small kitchen, so I don't have all the equipment that I need. Right. This is okay. This is done. This is good. Clean all this down. There's charcoal everywhere in bits and pieces. All right, that's gonna cook. Hey guys, so now welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Like I said earlier as well, for everybody that's just popped in, today obviously I'm cooking, yes, and tomorrow Jim, yeah, and Jim, you're on My Spanish Kitchen, yeah. Jim's going to be cooking as well. He's going to be making some lemon curd, I believe, tomorrow. And a cloud just came by. It got super dark in the kitchen. So, it really did get dark, didn't it? Give it a minute. Let's see if it doesn't fix itself. I'll have to come up with an idea. I'll have to fix. There we go. Sun's back. Okay. So Jim is going to be doing his thing tomorrow, and let me just type this in the chat. So if you want to have a look at Jim's channel, then just follow this link and follow Jim on Twitch. Oh no, did it? Yes, it did. Okay. And follow that link and follow Jim as well. And because tomorrow he's going to be making some lemon curd, and then he has some other dishes coming up. And so Friday, tomorrow at 1 p.m. our time here in Spain, Jim's cooking. Then on Sunday, 2 p.m. our time, Spanish time, I'm going to be cooking, and I'm going to be making some arroz negro or some paella. So we're going to be making some paella with some squid ink, and this will be on Sunday. Having a great week. Aye, and happy birthday to Alex. I forgot to mention this. Yes, it's Alex's birthday. So if everyone wants to wish Alex a happy birthday in the chat, that would be great. Okay, the haricots verts are boiling away. This is also, it's hot. It's hot. All right, so now the best thing to do is to cook this and let this reduce, because the more that you cook this, the more that it reduces, obviously, the better it'll be. I'm adding a little bit of chicken stock. We can move it to the big burner now. I'm adding a little bit of chicken stock, as this will help bring everything together, and we're going to blend. And it is a little cloudy right now, isn't it? The clouds keep passing. Hello, Easy Recipes. How are you? 2 p.m. Yes, Mom. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. my time. That's a little early your time, I know. Yeah. I don't know what time that is in Australia, but it should be a little earlier for those guys as well. Oh, thank you, thank you. How is the weather in Scotland right now? Now with this, we haven't added any salt. We can add a little bit of salt. And now we're going to blend. Oh, thank you. Well, don't worry. After it's plated, it'll look a little better. Right now, it's a little dark in the kitchen, so it's a little hard to see everything. But the it's good in Scotland. It's nice and sunny. It's not raining today. All right. Put that over here. Put that here. Put this here, and we're going to blend. I'm going to do this in the sink just so I don't have things flying as normal. This is my little trick anytime that you're cooking. Use the sink to your advantage, because if you make a mess in the sink, you don't make it anywhere else, and it's easier to clean. Now we're going to blend this until it becomes a puree. I'll speak in a minute. Right. Well, more or less. Oh, oops. I have to be careful with these burners, because one simple move and it can come off. Right, so if you guys heard that, I apologize. It's a little loud. Oh, how are you doing, Easy Recipes? Let's see. That'd be 9:30 here in the morning. All right, let's see. Very overcast. So it's been 18 centigrade. Oh, it's not bad. That's very nice. Yes, it's much nicer than. Oh, I prefer 18 right now over like 25, 27. Today hasn't been bad, but you know we haven't had a lot of direct sun either today. Okay, so puree time. The puree, more or less, you want it creamy. If you can cheat a little bit, and if you add a little bit of butter to it and make it creamier, yes? But it's good. It's good. It needs more salt. A little more salt, a little more. back in the sink. Quick little blitz. Okay. Very good. Little roasted tomatoes, not tomato, but roasted pepper salsa. Stay there. Right. So. Yummy, yummy, huh? Okay. We have the puree. We have another cloud overhead. And we have the mashed potatoes. So now we are ready to cook the fish. And I have a little bit to clean as well. So, okay. So see, Jim, for me, this is the reason why I keep the sink clean, because I use it a lot. My daughter, oh, thank you, Easy Recipes. You're near Falkirk right now, but looking to move to Argyllshire. Oh, really? Well, Heartstrike. This, I don't know if Jim told you this. I'm a bagpiper. Yeah, I've been piping. I started piping at 14 in the Northwest with Simon Fraser University. They're all, you know, top gold medalists internationally. I've taken lessons from Willie McKellum. Not Willie McKellum. From Alistair Gillies, as well as Stuart Little and all the other famous pipers in Scotland, except for Willie McKellum. Him, I didn't. But I know a lot of the guys. I had never competed in Scotland, but I used to compete a lot up and down the Northwest. And of course, you know, I miss piping a lot. I really miss it. So I got up to grade 1, which is semi-pro. And then if I didn't come over to Europe, right now I'd be pro. But I gave it up for cooking because I can't play right now in the apartments. I would love to pipe. Yeah, I miss it. It's been 5 years since I played. I really miss it. I still have my chanter with me, but I haven't been keeping up with it, and I miss it. I really do. It's one of those things, when you stop playing your music, it hurts you. Oh, are you? Oh, interesting. Mom, you have my pipes. I have 2 sets. I have a set of Krones, and then I have another set of Robertsons. Yeah, I know. I would like to, yeah? I'd like to get my pipes. Well, right now you play at like 120 decibels. So that's just one chanter, or the main chanter. 120 decibels is loud. Okay, without any more interruptions, we're going to cook the fish. Right, okay, I have my little non-stick saute pan here. And my goodness, the sauce went everywhere in the kitchen. I'm going, well, at least the kitchen's white. I can see all the spots. Right, now we have our sea bass here with us. Put that there. We have our lovely little sea bass. That way you can see it a little better. Let me switch the camera. There we go. Okay, so which piece? Which piece? I have a few pieces here. So the sea bass. Normally they don't take the bones out, and I'm not going to pick them out today. It takes too much time with the little ones. So I'm just going to square off the bottom and to square off the top. And of course square off this bottom piece as well. And that's it. Voila. You have a nice little piece of sea bass. And if anyone's wondering, the sea bass is Spanish. They fished it right off of the water, or they fished it right out of the Atlantic in Galicia. Jim, I think within the next few weeks or sooner, I'm gonna have to get a light like you have for your streams, because I'm relying completely on natural light right now, and it's starting to let me down a bit. All right, so we're gonna cook 2 pieces and have the rest. I'll leave this here. I have the rest for another meal. Fridge. Get that on, get that hot. Let's see. Yeah, so good light won't keep changing. No, Jim, I know, I need it. Because as you can tell with my big camera, this is fine. Yeah, this is a good camera. But I can't have 2 of these. I can only have 1, so, you know. The little camera is way too dark right now. Too much on natural light. Up the gain. I will in a sec, Jim. Give me a second. There we go. It put me to shame. I wouldn't know where to start with the pipes. Well, Heartstrike, it's not easy, I'll tell you that. Seriously, it's not an easy instrument to play, but it takes years just to start to learn how to play, how to hold the pipes under your arm without them slipping down, how to learn how to blow without spitting. I mean, it takes a lot of practice, and then with all the technique and the finger work. So just for a reference, we had a pressure gauge on my pipes to see how hard I was blowing, and it was ranging anywhere between 40 to 42 psi, and so that's about 42 pounds per square inch just to sound the reed that you put in the chanter. So 42 pounds per square inch just to blow, just to make a sound out of the reed. And of course you have to keep it at a steady temperature, at a consistent level. Okay, all right guys, so we're going to cook now. Yeah, I need to up the gain a little more. Oh dear, today is such a weird day, the weather. It would be a perfect day to go to the beach. We went to the beach a few days ago, and it wasn't the perfect day to go to the beach. It was actually cold, and then overcast, and then rainy. Okay. More or less right now. No, Jim, I had it on. I didn't change the white balance. But now I'm changing the white balance. And see, I need you here with me because otherwise it's a little difficult to do this while I stream. Better, okay. All right, now we're going to cook the fish. I'm going to use a non-stick pan. And with a non-stick, you can't use a metal spatula. You have to use plastic. Otherwise, you're going to destroy you'll destroy it, won't you? That's why you want it with the Teflon. Now, normally, yeah, you season it a little bit, the fish or the pan, little salt. You can season the pan as well a little bit, but in a non-stick pan, in a normal pan, you have to put a lot of oil down and a lot of salt, and the salt will help prevent the pan or the fish from sticking to the pan. Now, I'm going to lay this down. The skin's going to start to contract, and I'm going to hold this down just a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to bow, and you don't want it to bow in the pan. Put the other fish down. Just hold it for a little bit. Yeah? Just a little bit. It's just to prevent the fish from bowing. And what'll happen if it bows is the corner pieces will be cooked. They'll be nice and crispy. But the centerpiece won't be. And if it starts to spit at you, then use your spatula. but hold it down for a few seconds. It seems a little strange, but trust me, it works. And when you're using, say, a flat top, when you have a flat top, so you're using, you know, you're cooking a lot more fish, you can take a tray and press down on all the fish at once. It's much easier than doing it this way. Now, I'm going to put this on a little lower heat because this cooks fast. I'm going to drain the peas because they're turning, they look like they're done. All right, well, the peas I'm just going to use for a little bit of garnish. So, ends off. Come here. Where are we going? What are we going to do? Long ways. Oh, I forgot the peas. I cooked them a little too long. Well, anyway. Now, we're going to add a little more salt. Salt the other side. And there is something that I forgot just before the stream. I have to go look for it. I forgot the plate. Now, with fish, it's super easy to cook fish for me because you can tell when the fish is more or less done. You can start to see the white is changing. The color of the whiteness is changing. And this is almost completely done. You want to cook the majority of the fish on the skin side and then cook it on the other side. So we're going to flip. Okay, it's all right. It can be a little crispier, but it's not bad. So, and that one was obviously bad. So that's not going on the plate. Right, so this is white fish and this is a small piece. I'm going to let that sit and it's going to cook by itself. It's not going to need much more. And I think I'm going to have a change of heart. Well, you know what? I know what. I'm going to take a few peas. I'm going to use a few of these for garnish. These are frozen, obviously, because I couldn't use all of them when I was after making the paella the other day. And that was it. Just going to add a few peas to the top. Voila, we'll be done. And then we're finished. Right, so the fish is almost done. And now, is everyone all right? Everyone still with me? Yeah, we're gonna plate now. Yeah, I know, Mom, you can't use Teflon. Do you bake, James? I do bake, but I wasn't baking because I didn't have an oven. Now I have a good oven. Now I can bake. And now I can also sous vide. I can also cook with steam or vapor. And I can do a lot more things with this oven. So, it's a good oven. If the fish spits at you, spit back at it. All right, I have to go look for the plate. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, fish is done. The pan is cooking in the residual heat. I should have bought peas yesterday. It would be a little nicer than this. And now we plate. And I think I have another idea as well. So, okay. So. Yep, okay. Everyone can see the plate? Yep. Better, no? Now? Better now. Right. Okay, so. This is our sauce that we made. Now this is a salsa. I made this more of a consistency for salsa so you can dip. If you want to make this a little more liquidy, to have a nice like sauce and to make it more liquidy, or pass it through the chinois and it'll be nice as well. Okay, another spoon. Now, this is our mashed potatoes, yes, that we made earlier. Nice and creamy. I made a lot of potatoes. I'm gonna be eating potatoes tonight. I'm just gonna place this in the center. And we're gonna lay the fish on this, yes? Now for the fish. It's a good spoon. All right. Now, or actually my spatula. No, for the fish. Now the fish, technically you want to put this on another tray and dab it clean with a bit of paper towel. I'm going to place it like this. The mashed potatoes are a little runny. This, I have to admit, I made them a little runny. It's all right. If you make them stiffer, they're going to stand. So it'll be a little higher. You can also do this with a risotto. So that's another idea. If you want to use this for a risotto, that's another good idea. Okay, well, and the peas didn't turn out the best because I didn't get fresh peas, but I'm going to put a few little peas here. And then, where's my cebollino? Here we go. It's amazing how fast everything goes bad in this heat. Right, and a little bit of cebollino over the plate. Easy, 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 simple dish. I'll probably do another photo for Instagram instead of having like a minute to figure out how I'm going to plate it. But more or less like this. It's a simple and easy dish. Now, again, the fish is a little small. I got the baby, the baby fish this time. Jim, we need to learn from James. No, it'll be a little nicer on Instagram. I still need to take the thumbnail photo. Yes. Oh, it just scraped off the floor. No, Jim, your plates look good. And Jim takes excellent photos. Well, he's a photographer. He knows how to take excellent photos. Me, not so much. You know, I take okay photos, not good photos. It's a whole nother world, photography. 16 centimeters or 18? What, Jim, the fish or the pan? Lots of comments. The knife. Oh, the knife. 8-inch. 8-inch chef knife. So I think 16 centimeters. 8-inch. I don't know. With knives, I still go by the imperial system. Yeah, I have the link in my Facebook for the knives that I use on Amazon. So it should be the same. Anyway, guys. That's an easy little dish to make. The fish looks a little pathetic. It's a little too small, yeah? So it's a little small, I have to admit. And if you don't want to use mashed potatoes, you can easily make a little risotto. You don't make it as runny. You make it a little stiffer and it'll stand up on the plate. 20 centimeters. Thank you, Jim. So 8-inch chef knife is the best. An 8-inch will cover almost 90% of the things. I use 8-inch. The only time I need to use a 10-inch chef knife is when I have to cut a lot of produce or a lot of things and I have a big cutting board. So 8-inch is more than enough. Okay, guys, well, that's it. So to wrap things up, because we're done here, yes? Oh, thank you, Emma. Oh, to me, it looks a little pathetic, but no, that's okay. It tastes good, eh? This it does. It tastes good. I'm gonna fix the photo though, so it'll be a lot nicer for YouTube. Raid. All right, well, let me try to raid, yeah, Jim? Because last time I don't know what happened. So, closing comments, okay? Because this has been how long have we been? Oh, 2 hours, okay. Well, anyway, Chef John, okay, all right, Jim. All right, give me a second, yeah? Closing comments. Tomorrow, Jim is going live, 1 p.m., his kitchen, My Spanish Kitchen, on Twitch, only on Twitch, not Facebook. Sunday, I'm going to go live again at 2 p.m. Spanish time. I'm going to go live on YouTube and Facebook, and we're going to be making arroz negro, or it's a paella with squid ink. So it's a black rice paella. It's a very, very pretty dish. We'll probably be having some shrimp, some calamari, and it's going to taste really good, okay? So just keep that in mind. Put it on the calendars for Sunday, this Sunday. And then next week, there's going to be a whole other menu and everything else, okay? Anyway, guys, thank you very much for showing up today and for subscribing to my channel, supporting me on both YouTube and Twitch. If you haven't done so already, please like the video down below and subscribe down below as well. It helps my channel out greatly. I'm going to raid real quick on Twitch, so stay with me, guys, on Twitch, because I don't know if this is going to work or not. Because the last time I closed OBS and I think it cut everything. So give me a second. Okay, so for right now, for everybody on YouTube, bye-bye. This is the end of the video. I'll see you again soon. And now, all right, so I closed YouTube, yes? Now we're going to raid. It wasn't you that broke it. Well, I don't know, Jim, because I shut everything down. Give me a second. Let me raid. Yes. Okay, we're gonna raid Chef John, yeah? He has 76 people. Is everyone ready to raid him? And when you go to his channel, say, hi, came from James, okay? Try to get more people to my channel and to Jim's, okay? Guys, thank you very much. Take care. I love all of you, all right? And here we go. And it's counting down. I didn't know this had a countdown. Okay. I think this is it. Bye, guys. Take care. And do.